This is what everybody wants to see. This is the best way to, at the very least, make a great show. And as we said before, PartinG does not get nervous, does not crack under pressure. And so, for that reason, I think he's a pretty solid choice.
Yeah, I mean, this is the guy, he got an all-kill before. He does not crack under pressure. He can bring your team all the way back. It's going to be up to him now to win 4 in a row. That's a big point to make. He doesn't have, you know, any buffers anymore. If he loses, it's over for SKT. It's up to him to get 4 in a row. He's going to be up against this guy who has 3 kills in a row so far, looking to get his first all-kill here.
Yep, it's going to be his second Protoss versus Protoss of the day. And it's going to take place on Star Station, our 4th map. So, totally different map than Yunsu. Similar features. I do not think we'll see him do the same 3 gateway pressure build that just ended Rain in game number 1. It's just it's not as strong on that map, and it's a bit predictable as well. So,
yeah.
Really curious to see what PartinG's going to do, man.
Yeah, I was just thinking about PartinG, like what exactly is he going to go for here? This is the first match in possibly 4 for him. He's definitely very confident here in himself at least, and I know he could do something crazy. That's what I want to see.
Yep. SK Telecom fans everywhere are clasping their hands together and hoping for a PartinG miracle here. He has pulled it off before. Can he do it again? Let's jump into our 4th map, Star Station, here at our Round 1 playoffs.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
Down here in the bottom right, the red Protoss for KT Rolster, 3 in a row so far. It's Zest.
And to the top left, in blue, Protoss player who's so well known in and out of Korea. It's PartinG, known for his flashy ceremonies, his cheeky attitude, his very honest tweets. He's a really fun player, love or hate him, and usually the relationship goes you love him or you play against him.
PartinG reminds me a lot of MC of olden days, just
Yeah.
a little bit more lovable. I don't know, just as a as a personality.
MC is, he's actually grown into his own. He's improved his English so much, and he's a really awesome personality. I really like to watch his games, like to see his interviews as well. PartinG is like all Korea, though. He plays overseas when he gets the opportunity, but when it comes to Korea, he's very much committed to this region. So very enthusiastic fans here.
Oh yeah, man. The cheers we're getting out of these fans right now is probably some of the loudest we've heard all season so far for Pro League. These guys are really excited.
Yeah, indeed. I think the SK Telecom T1 fans are a bit somber right now. This is a very stressful situation. If PartinG is able to take just 1 win, though, I think the momentum in the crowd will swing like crazy. So many fans here, a lot of KT fans, actually. And someone looks like from the Banishment clan. I'm pretty sure that was a clan that made a lot of maps. Seen in the past.
There it is again. Monse. Just cheering for that clan. So far, both players going very similar builds, pretty much equal timings. Looks like as Zest was able to get that Cybernetic score maybe 0.5 seconds before PartinG.
Yeah, just a little bit faster, just eking it out just a little bit quicker. And but I expect that we see PartinG play the same kind of Protoss versus Protoss we've seen from him in the previous matches, where he's just taking a third base, building an aggressive composition, and just trying to control his opponent with Warp Prism Harass while he attacking his opponent's third. Just making sure that he can keep his opponent occupied in multiple locations at once. That's really what PartinG does well in this matchup, I feel, is what he excels in. He will every now and then hit you with an all-in or a timing, which makes him unpredictable, but that's not really the kind of playstyle I feel you want to hit Zest with.
Yeah, I don't see that as well. I'd love to see him take it late and just use that kind of style where he puts his hand into your mind and starts to control you, and just he just seems like he has total control of the game when he plays PvP in the mid to late game.
Yeah. To
the point where I just want to see him do it. I don't want to see him go for a timing. He is starting with the Twilight Council.
Yeah, he does drop that down, but yeah, he almost feels Puppeteer-like when he gets into your base with the Zealots, the Warp Prism harass, DTs.
He's a guy that reminds me of like TY of Terran, who's just like drops all over the place, just like controlling your army at all times, fights only on his terms, like just total control of that game. It's really a sign of a really strong player.
Yeah, and a very experienced one at that. PartinG has been playing StarCraft 2 competitively for a lot longer than almost anyone in this room, in fact, to be totally honest. We have a Dark Shrine actually going down for PartinG. This is a bold move, all things considered. The Mothership Core on the Stalker will ward off that first Stalker, and he actually eats a lot of damage. Zest, that is.
Yeah, Zest just getting a little too close to that lip. Just have 2 more Stalkers coming across the map, building even 2 more, as well as 1 extra gateway, as we see a forward forward pylon for PartinG be built over to the east there as well.
Yep, he's not able to get any scouting information. PartinG has just totally shut that down, and this is really nice for him. Unfortunately for PartinG, though, that robotics is on the way, counter-wise. And the forward pylon that PartinG has down, it's not close enough to where he's going to be able to get a massive amount of damage done with his DTs. Now it's 3 Stalkers to 2 Mothership Core around as well, and PartinG has to be very careful with how he micros. He needs to use that overcharge. There he does. Waits until the Stalkers are so close to the Nexus that they eat the maximum amount of damage.
Yeah, Zest is just playing so well, though. He stayed the exact amount of time to kill off 1 probe and then just backs off. He's going to wait here. He's going to get that production on the 3 gates that he has. The thing for PartinG, he's banking on these Dark Templars doing a lot of damage. There's the Observer out of Zest. Zest!
He knows, man, and he's got it rallied at home. He hasn't even seen the Dark Shrine, but based on what the units he's seen, he has a very good idea that this is what is happening. This 1 DT will actually ward this pushback, though he's not going to be able to stick around with this, and this will give PartinG the opportunity to expand because his opponent's Observer that he's made is just going to take so long to actually get across the map. Well, he doesn't get any damage done here.
Sick play so far out of Zest. He's even able to block that 1 DT out from doing no damage. Like you mentioned before, this push is going to be pushed back for a little bit here. But once that Observer comes across the map, could possibly do a lot of damage. It's going to take a while, though. Here it is. Yeah. Slowly making that trek.
He's got 2 Observers now as well, so he has detection on both ones, so he doesn't have to worry about that. That actually supply blocks Zest, so that's a little bit annoying. Tech-wise, they both have the robotics. And that means that, for example, the tech lead isn't really there, but he has 2 Observers that gives him control over the DTs. The DTs haven't really been the best investment cost for kills for PartinG, so you can give a slight edge to Zest in this game for sure, who also, since he has control of the natural, starts his Nexus first.
Yeah, I actually love this. He's going to have these units at the bottom of the ramp. It's going to take a while for PartinG to push out here. He does have an Immortal in his composition, as well as an Archon with his 2 Dark Templar, so he is going to have a strong army as well. But Zest is going to do a good job in delaying PartinG for as long as possible, try to get his Nexus up as fast as possible. PartinG, seeing the army of Zest right now, he knows that Zest probably went for that Nexus, and he's going to try to start his own.
Yeah, Time Warp goes down, and with the recent nerf to that, he's only going to be able to use 2. He's going to have a long time before he gets a 3rd one, so he's very reluctant to do that. In fact, just flies over the middle of that little hole in the map that has caused a lot of really fun situations in Terran versus Protoss just recently. But Warp Prism on the way right now for PartinG, and his harassment is really on point in this matchup. If you give him a Warp Prism, he is definitely going to work with it quite a bit. He's also got the lead in probes. He never stopped probe production, so he has that 8 Harvester lead right now, and that's helping him as well.
Yeah, PartinG did a good job of getting that pylon out there and getting the Dark Templar in the base and forcing the Observer to stay at home as long as possible for Zest, so that his push was forced to stay back for a long time. It gave PartinG a lot of time to get his own, his own home base really secure. And then, even though his Nexus is going to be a little bit late, he has the lead in probes, and he's going to have that economy up just soon enough. And of course, in Protoss vs. Protoss, once we get towards this mid game, it becomes this kind of defender's advantage position where nobody really wants to attack, especially on a map like this with the small choke at the front, the natural. And we could see both these guys just stack up and try to get a lot of units here.
Yep. We're going to see an Immortal drop, of course, from Zest. As with the timing of that Warp Prism, he has 2 Immortals just lined up ready to go. And the Dark Templar drop, counter-wise, coming in here for PartinG. See how much damage he can actually get done here. I mean, there's going to be Observers nearby. I don't think he's going to take a ton of hits, Zest that is, but he may lose a worker or 2, and then the Warp Prism, of course, will just save the DT and get him away.
PartinG is doing a good job. He's heading the bulk of his army towards the front because he knows that Zest is going to be split up here to try to stop this harass. Could poke at the front, get some units.
This is exactly what we were talking about. This is what PartinG does so well. Great force there to isolate those zealots as well. Gets one, may get a second one, not quite able to do it.
Yeah, loses nothing.
And that DT threat is still around, forcing additional units to be in the main base. He doesn't know what's in the Warp Prism. Meanwhile, this harassment is going to force a recall. Can he get the Warp Prism? Oh, not quite.
Oh, it was pretty close there. That one Immortal trying to stay as long as possible. He did not want to go away from his vacation, go back on the plane. Finally, he had to. Here comes the Dark Templar again, but prepared is Zest, having those units on patrol. It does get one probe.
Nice,
gets away.
Nice dance moves there on the DT. Gets in and gets out. That's how the DT is. He's quick. Here comes the Immortals again. 2 Immortals can one-shot a probe. It just takes 2 Immortal shots to kill a probe, so you can think about it that way as well. They are also absolutely devastating the Stalkers, so without the overcharge there, he would probably just fight 4 Stalkers of those Immortals and not think twice about it.
Yeah, he was looking pretty confident to stay as long as that overcharge didn't go down. And that's pretty good. Both of these guys really strong with the Warp Prism. They're using both of their advantages to their advantage. And they're both playing very well so far. I have to say, it's pretty even here.
Yeah, it is. And the Warp Prism here is spotted and chased by a Phoenix. That's just one small thing that you can do to identify where your opponent's at. This Phoenix Scout wants to get a little bit more information. Unfortunately, Overcharge is going to make quick work of that. He does see the PartinG is adding a ton of gateways right now. What is he going to go for here? Looks like he's just going to try to grab this pylon. I think he should be able to get it.
Yep, he was going to be able to get it, and he's going to back off here. Anything you can get, any little, pylon, any probes, any units as well, it will definitely be very beneficial.
Yeah,
you can just, as long as you have the multitasking to do that, it's just a little thing to get yourself a little bit more ahead.
Very true, and now that he's identified the gateways, he adds his own gates back at home. PartinG now adds a Stargate. And what PartinG is going to do, I think, is do what we've seen him do in the past. Hold that thought. This is the Stalkers away from Overcharge that we were talking about. If the Stalkers are there alone, it's so awkward because they start to chase the Warp Prism, then suddenly they're like, oh, wait a minute, I forgot what's inside that Warp Prism. It will destroy us. It's similar to dealing with a Reaver drop, really. And what PartinG is going to do, I think, is do the same thing we've seen him do in the past. Do a big harassment warp in the main base while poking at his opponent's third while he takes his own third, or even just poking at the natural while he takes his third base so that he keeps Zest occupied. And he's getting the Stargate because he knows his opponent's going Colossus Tech. He's been able to scout that, and it looks like he's just going to try to go Tempest as a result. So this Warp Prism needs to not be there.
Oh, just trying to continue that harass. But I think you're spot on. He's going to want to go for those Tempests. There's the Fleet Beacon, like you were about to mention. But on the other hand, getting the Templar Archives as well as charge for Zest. He added a ton of gateways. It was 5 there at the end. It looks like he's primed to take his third as well. He wants to go into this really heavy gateway army with a couple of those Colossi to back it up.
Yeah, the Fleet Beacon is so fast here. PartinG is really committing quite early, trying to get the rush those Tempests out to get the count up very high. So with this, he's not going to be able to really take the third base with it. If he does, he's doing a lot, at once. He's committing to making more Archon, trying to get Tempest out, and also taking a third base. All these things at once. Really tough to pull off. He's just poking around the map a little bit. Charge is done for Zest back at home as well in just a few seconds. So he's going to even that up.
This is actually a scary push coming across the map from Zest. I'm not sure exactly what primed this push or why he feels very confident in this. I think he definitely can do it if he goes for a head-on attack. He's even going to catch an Archon here. He's done a good job pulling off, taking out a bunch of PartinG's units even before the fight has started. And it doesn't look like PartinG wants to fight this. He wants to go around. And Zest is a lot closer. He has the Warp Prism as well.
Yeah, I'm really starting to question PartinG's decision-making here. He even started at Phoenix for a little bit before starting his first Tempest, almost as if, he was just having a bit of a stressful moment where he's not, his head's not in the right place. He has a really strong army. Now, we are going to have a race here, an elimination race that will decide this game. Let's see exactly what happens here. PartinG going for the counterattack, meanwhile, trying to cut off the probes from retreating. Does PartinG have any probes on the map? That's what the observer was highlighting earlier. That one probe that almost got out got killed.
Yeah.
Okay, got a probe out.
Oh no, that's Zest.
Okay,
he's able to build a Nexus over here. He did get that one probe. Very nice job by him to be conscious of that. He has the one probe with them. He is starting the Nexus, so he's not going to be revealed. On the other hand, PartinG does have that one pylon in the top right corner. You have to remember that. And it's gonna be hard to get Zest's army all the way across there to take that out. But he does have that Warp Prism. He could use it to get over there once he is revealed.
Okay, he's saving probes his Warp Prism right now. He needs to get that Warp Prism out of here. That's so critical right now for him. I don't really like Parting's chances, though. His supply is down. I think he's even down in workers as he starts to lose the last of his workers in his main base, which means that the overall supply is a pretty good indicator. And here we go, recall! The Nexus is dead here, but the army units are here. The problem really being that the Colossi are underneath Immortal Fire, but it looks like Parting is going to have to get out of here. Feedback's going down.
Yeah, feedback on the Mothership Core. He is not able to recall out of here. Parting is just going to have to run away. Decent force fields here, but he is being chased. A lot of damage being done to this army. Zest does look pretty strong here. He has 2 observers in the army as well, ready for Dark Templar.
Exactly. He's prepared for everything. Parting is desperately starting a Void Ray at home. He's sending some of his Immortals to turn around and try to kite against these Archons. He's doing his best here with the units that he has. He gets trapped a little bit. He may have to just trade against those Stalkers to the best of his ability. He's down 14 supply right now. Would love to see the unit tab because I don't know exactly how much of that is in army and how much of that is in probes. 8 to 15, so a lot of the army supply here for Parting, you know, not in those probes, so, well, hold that thought because you just lost everything there, basically. The Tempest and the Void Rays, is there enough anti-air? That's the question.
There's nothing. There's that Archon and Sentries, and these 2 Tempests are going to chase the army of Zest away.
Faking some Stalkers, I don't think he's going to go for it. There goes the Mothership Core, no recall, and good micro here so far on the Tempest. The Void Ray using the prismatic alignment. It does fall, but the Tempests are still trying to pick away at this. There are two observers left, and there are 2 DTs on the map right now. DTs need to stay away from the observers. Does Parting have an observer? No, he does not, so he can't actually snipe that observer. One observer is following those Tempests, but he doesn't see. Does he see? Okay, I don't know if he actually knows those DTs. Those DTs could actually be a big problem. He's trying to get his own counter observer. It doesn't look like he's going to finish. It's going to be close.
It's going to be really close here. Is he going to get it? Yes, it pops out.
He's trying to snipe it. Oh, I don't know if he even saw it. I don't think he saw it.
Yeah, it didn't look like he was trying to go for it. And these Tempests are going to, you know, these Stalkers, there's only 5 of them. It's going to be really hard. Really good Tempest micro here. Could definitely do this. Nice pickup in the Warp Prism.
He has to try to snipe the observer of Zest. He's going to get one. He might get both. He might get both. Here come those Stalkers underneath the Tempest. And he gets one observer, it looks like. The second one. Who's going to get it?
The observer is not dead for Zest, and chasing after him in the Warp Prism with the Stalkers is Zest after these Tempests. These Tempests desperately trying to micro. Here are the Dark Templar doing a lot of damage to that.
The observer from Parting goes down! Parting has lost his observer and therefore his only edge in this game. DT's trying to micro here, but it looks like that's going to be it. He's got 7 probes, 1 Tempest, and a Warp Prism left, and I don't think that's enough to win this game.
It doesn't look like it's going to be enough, Wolf. Parting is pissed. You see him in the booth. He is so mad, and now Zest, he knows he's in a big position right now. He's going to go back into the main base of Parting and kill the rest of these buildings. Zest, man, looking like 4 in a row.
He's done it, man. He's manner canceling his Warpins of Stalkers. And that is going to be all she wrote. Parting is done. This is game over. This is KT Rolster's all-kill Zest. I would never have believed that somebody told me he was getting the all-kill today, especially against the players he ended up facing. And now he keeps the Stalkers. Going to try to end the game faster. That 1 Tempest of Parting on the other side of the map, definitely not going to be able to eliminate the buildings faster.
That 1 lonely Tempest trying to join up with the War Prism. Now he's being revealed. He's going to see this 1 pylon over here as an observer does show. And man, that 1 fight with the observers, so close to taking out that final observer was Parting, and then losing the Dark Templar after that. He just lost the only hedge that he had.
I'm just speechless right now. Had he known that there were only 2 observers, I think we would have been a little bit more focused on eliminating those. And had he done that, then things could have been very different. He's actually going to kill a pylon with probes. That's going to be it. This is it for Parting. Parting just refuses to surrender. It's the last of his structures, as you guys can see on the structure tab.
Parting is so mad right now. His pylon is going to go down.
He's not going to GG. Oh, he starts an assimilator. The question is, does Parting GG or not?
That is the final question. As we're waiting for here. Zest definitely so happy with this. He's going to actually chase after this Tempest as well with the Stalkers.
I mean, he's trying to make this Tempest work. It's just not happening.
It's just not going to happen.
He's fighting with his probes over here, trying to kill the Nexus. I mean, he's doing literally everything he can. Well, there's no way he can save that assimilator. He's not even going to be able to necessarily save his Tempest. Goodbye, Tempest. And that is game. Does he let it die or does he type out? He's got two choices here. He's going to type out GG. KT Roaster and Zest will win 4-0 with the all kill.
I cannot believe this Zest. Who would have thought this guy's going to go 4-0 against SK Telecom, one of the strongest teams we have here. Another all kill straight in a row. Zest so happy, so confident, and he's played incredibly well for KT.
Giving a backhand there. What a great series by him, not dropping a single map, looking dominant, in fact, in all 4 games. Incredible play. It was amazing. That was his best day ever, and it's just one more player that KT Roaster has up their sleeve. They have, I feel, not as many players in total as SK Telecom T1 has. When it comes down to the strongest players of SK Telecom T1, though, he was able to beat all of them all by himself.
You know what? This KT team, after just seeing the play of Zest today, I am so scared for the next few rounds we're going to have here. They have this guy, Zest, for Protoss. They have a bunch of Terrans, TY, and Flash. They have stats again for Protoss as well. They have just 4 guys that are so strong. Zest, you know, in the beginning of round 1, he wasn't looking too well. He played a couple of games that were kind of iffy, and we were like, oh, well, why is he playing